I'm Stephen Lund. I'm the CEO of Toronto Global.
Speaking first about Canada in general, which as we discussed earlier, you know quite well, what makes us an attractive country for foreign direct investment? What are some of our advantages? And which areas do you think we could improve?
Sure, great question. I think we also need to consider what have our advantages been and what will they be as we come out of this pandemic. We have a great opportunity in front of us in Canada and to leverage the advantages that we have. And so I'll go through a couple of them. First of all, we have a global market access. We have 14 trade agreements with 51 countries around the world. We are the only G7 country that actually has an agreement with every other G7 country. We have a highly skilled talent. We are the most educated workforce in the OECD, which is critical. Lower cost, lower risk. This is a great place to invest. We are one of the most competitive cost jurisdictions in the world. We have favorable immigration policies. We attract 100,000 new people into this economy every year. And quality of life. Everybody knows that Canada is a great place to live. Survey after survey shows that. But if I can look at three things that are really important to consider that every company looks at: skill, scale, and cost. People want to know, can I get great people? Can I get enough of them? And can I get that for a reasonable cost of business? We've got that in spades in Canada, and the world will know that. In terms of what we should be looking at for improvements, I think the world is going to be looking for safe harbors as we come out of this pandemic recession. Canada has that in spades. It's incumbent upon all of us in Canada to get the word out that Canada is a great place to invest. I think it's also opportune to look at our regulatory environment. We talk about different sectors of the economy. What can we do to make Canada an even better place to invest? Let's look at some of those regulations in some of those sectors, whether it's energy, telecommunications, lots of other sectors that may be great places to look at to make it more appealing to foreign direct investment.
Thank you, Stephen. This is very useful to set us up in terms of context. Now, looking at Toronto specifically, is it similar to what you described, or are there more specific competitive advantages you would highlight?
Sure. Let's look at Toronto specifically. Toronto is a diverse economy. We all know that. It's one of the most diverse economies in North America. If you look at some of the industries that have driven the economy here: film, television, food, beverage, agriculture, financial services, IT, life sciences. We have it all. Talent is a real driver, as we talked about earlier. We have 18 colleges and universities in this immediate area. We have 400,000 students in these 18 universities and colleges. This is a significant driver and a significant opportunity for us as a region.
You mentioned a list of sectors that make up the Toronto economy. What are those that attract the most foreign direct investments? And would you highlight 2 or 3 major investments for us?
So if I look at the Toronto region, there are some really key sectors of growth, and I mentioned some of them earlier. And as we go out of this pandemic, we're going to see opportunities around supply chain, advanced manufacturing. I'm going to touch on 2 that have been really driving the economy over the last number of years. And they are really going to be in the financial services and the technology field. If we take a look at financial services, there are 10,000 businesses in the Toronto region employing 280,000 skilled workers. We have the Toronto Stock Exchange, the 3rd largest in North America, known as a center for many sectors, including mining. Toronto has grown significantly in the last 5 years in the financial services area, more than any other center in North America. And if I take one example of a company that's come here, HSBC Banking looked around the world to set up a new operation and work with Toronto Global over a number of years to create a new data and innovation center in the region, a significant opportunity for this region. If I look at technology, Toronto is considered either the number 2 or number 3 center in North America for technology. But it's the fastest growing center in North America, employing 290,000 skilled workers in this region alone. And we've had a lot of successes in the last number of years. One being Cognizant, a Fortune 500 company, setting up in Mississauga, employing 400 highly skilled workers. So with these 2 sectors, They have been really key drivers in this economy, and they will continue to drive this economy in the next decade or so.
So you've been an economic developer, if I can put it this way, for many years now. And what, in your opinion, are some of the factors that make it easier for investors to come to a city like Toronto? And how would you characterize the ease of doing business in Toronto in general?
Companies around the world look for a few things. They want to be welcomed. They want their decision to be easy and successful. And so that's why it's important for groups like Toronto Global, our partners in Invest Canada, our partners around the municipalities, to really be welcoming, to know what we're talking about, make it easy, make it a decision easy for our companies. So they want to make sure that can I get good people at a reasonable cost of business. This Toronto region, and when we compare it with other places around North America, it's an easy place to do business. Easy, low regulations, but important ones in place. A cost of business that could be 20 to 30% lower. Lot of available people, great talent. I mean, these are some of the things that companies consider.
Is there also a culture, a business culture that makes it attractive? You just moved there yourself. I mean, what was the sort of first impression?
If I just take a look at the innovation that's going on in this region, it's striking. I mean, there's nothing like this, really, I don't think, in North America and in many other parts of the world. If I just look at what we're seeing from an innovation perspective, we've got a fantastic ecosystem here. There are 2,000 tech startups in the area. We've got groups like world-leading accelerators like Mars Discovery, CDL, Creative Destruction Labs, DMZ, Venture Labs in Markham. We've got things happening like Spark Center in Durham, Haltech in Halton region. I mean, there's so much going on here, even with Mars Discovery District. 1.5 million square feet, 120 tenants, Vector Institute, one of the leading centers in artificial intelligence in the world. So there's so much going on here. And again, what I'm seeing is having lived a number of years outside Toronto, many parts of the country look to Toronto to lead. There's so much going on in this region from an innovation perspective, new businesses. It's a beacon for foreign investment. Toronto, and then when I say Toronto, this region really needs to step up and lead the country, and I think lead North America as we come out of this pandemic.
You mentioned the pandemic. Do you feel like during an event like this, which is global, which is casting a lot of uncertainty and even fear in people around the world, Toronto and by extension Canada can become this safe haven for investors?
Absolutely. I mean, this is our time. This is Canada's time. I mean, we've got everything in place. We are, we're a diverse economy. If I look at the Toronto region itself, 51% of the people in Toronto were born somewhere else, not in this country. I mean, we attract immigrants from all over the world. It's a multicultural society. It's got a fantastic business climate. I think the world is going to look for safe havens. Canada is a safe haven. This Toronto region is a safe haven. I mean, it's going to be a beacon for investment. It's incumbent upon all of us to talk about the great things happening in this region. And I truly believe that this is going to be a fantastic opportunity, not just for the Toronto region, but for this country as we move forward. I mean, we've got it all. We have a fantastic talent base, a welcoming society, a great quality of life, great businesses, a world-leading banking center, great financial services, IT. So again, I truly believe that this is our time.
I want to sort of switch the focus a little bit on the importance of foreign investments to Toronto's economy, to Canada's economy. There can sometimes be some misunderstanding or misappreciations, perhaps, of the value of foreign direct investment amongst Canadians. Would you address that, please?
There are essentially four ways I look at it to drive an economy. Exports, selling your product around the world or services around the world. Entrepreneurship, creating great startups. Productivity, increasing your productivity and investment. These are all really critical elements. foreign direct investment and driving new investment in your economy, this is a really competitive world. Every jurisdiction in North America and around the world is looking to bring new investment into their area. Why? First of all, creates great jobs, drives GDP growth, and drives income for your area in tax revenue. This is how we, Canadians, this is how we pay for things like healthcare and education. So foreign direct investment or new investment in the area is absolutely critical to the growth of any region. And it's something that we will continue to focus on, and our country, Canada, really needs to continue to focus on. I believe as places around the world look for safe havens, Canada is a safe haven. We're close to the US. We are very similar in many ways, but we're also Canada. And we have a lot of advantages that other places, including the US, don't have. So driving new investment into this region is going to be critical. And I really want all Canadians to know just how important this is.